Today's episode is brought to you by Epic Eyewear. Epic Eyewear offers some of the best quality sunglasses at an affordable price for all. Are you tired of dealing with large corporate companies? With Epic Eyewear, they deliver quality customer service as a small business would offer. As a testament to their product, Epic Eyewear stands behind their product 100% with a no-hassle warranty. They also offer free returns and exchanges. So if you're in the market for new sunglasses, check out epiceyewear.com. Female, veteran-owned, and made in the USA. Use the promo code WHISTLE10 for 10% off of your next purchase.
Today is August 28th. It's me and Sean again, and we also have a friend via cell phone, Mario Lewis.
The Super Mario brother himself. In the dungeon, kind of live, kind of tired. He's a little sleepy.
Well, you're fatigued after a fantasy draft.
Yes.
You guys did it, Like, people think, oh, it's just something casual I could do on my lazy boy recliner. No, the brain is working.
You're trying to find that next big pick. It's like you're scouring the shit
the
trying
steal.
To find a diamond.
Exactly. Oh, touches, and you're getting it. People are really good at fantasy now. Guys have had a decade in. Oh yeah, but the people who are into it, like, you know what I mean. If you really look into it, and you don't have to spend a lot of time, but you have to do your research, and people got skills.
Yeah.
Drafts are like pretty solid.
Well, everybody's listening to the same stuff, right?
Exactly.
Everybody watches ESPN. Everybody goes online and sees the same crap. It's just a matter of how you interpret it, man. Everybody likes different things about different guys.
Yeah, it's all the same regurgitated bullshit. It's just who's going to say it differently.
Yeah, I mean, it's all really about all you can go off of is what they've done in the past and what kind of opportunity they have this year.
For sure, for sure.
That's always how I look at fantasy in general. So I mean, it's not rocket science, dude. It's just a matter of doing your homework a little bit.
So is the draft more important, or is it in-season trades and roster management?
Everything's important. You don't want to like shy away on anything, dude. I mean, you got to make moves, but you also got to be sure that you're not like
quick, so people know how many championships have you won?
They get longer leashes than others, right? Like you're not gonna drop the guys who draft in the first 5 rounds in the second week. I mean, you can do whatever you want, dude. I've seen people do the dumbest shit possible, but in general, you're not going to do that.
Yeah,
you're going to wait. Yeah, you're going to wait on some guys, and then the guys that you take late, I mean, they're flyers for a reason, dude. If they don't work out, it's not like it's going to kill you to try and grab somebody else, And I think the one thing that's been like kind of coming on over the last 4 or 5 years is like the handcuff, right? Like everybody needs the handcuff. Let's get the guy that, in case this dude gets hurt, you get to handcuff the guy that backs him up and could be the clear cut.
Who's the biggest handcuff this year?
Well, in my opinion, Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler?
Yeah, because he's going to play early, or Pollard, same thing.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard, anybody like those two contract situations are terrible. The best handcuff, and I'm not homering it here, but probably Breida. If Coleman gets hurt, Breida's a stud.
Yeah, Breida's not bad.
Anybody else that you can think of that's like, okay, this guy's gonna be a badass after.
Well, some people might say, like, you're looking at the Alvin Kamara situation, he's going to be on like a pitch count, and then they bring in a guy like Latavius Murray, who's been a starter previously in Minnesota. Yeah, I'm not a big Latavius Murray fan, but he's a commendable backup. I mean, he's a guy that's got experience. He knows how to run the ball. He had a decent second half of the season last year. Like, there's like 2 to 4 games where he went over 100 with a few touchdowns. So it was like,
I know.
Bonus points are huge.
I had him and Dalvin Cook in the league last year, and I know he's just boring. Like he's just not a.
I'm not a handcuff fan.
No, I know. A lot of people aren't, but it's almost like getting pieces of the backfield, right? Like if you got Geist this year, you had to get Adrian Peterson. At least that's how I looked at that. If you were going to draft guys,
you got to get the backup.
AP too, and I'm starting to buy into this. Like you draft the running game, like you'd almost have to use a high pick, like a top 12 pick on AP, even though he's down in that like 200 range.
No, that's agreeable because you don't know how this young kid's going to pan out. I mean, he's coming off a fresh ACL, hasn't played a snap in the league, so it's a toss up. You know, it's
well the problem with that situation is just they're terrible. You know, the Redskins are going to suck. So it's like,
are they ever good?
You gotta
no, yeah, well.
Yeah,
Not in my lifetime.
Who's gotten you the most points from the Redskins in the last 5 years?
The guy's like the worst. He's the worst owner in history. So no one ever knows what the deal is over there.
Yeah, he's just partying though, right?
Daniel Snyder.
Yeah, I would hang out with Daniel Snyder.
So
so would I.
Back to Paulo's question: who's the Redskin that's got you the most points in the last 5 years?
Right.
The what? Say again.
The Redskin that's got you the most points in the last 5 years.
And Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. I'm gonna say for me, Chris Thompson.
Oh yeah, all right.
Chris Thompson's a guy that can catch 15 balls a game out of the backfield.
Yeah.
But he's not going to go anywhere.
No.
He can. I mean, he's going to be hurt by week 2.
A lot of people we were talking about, a lot of people got Rams players, right? That's a hot team as well.
Yeah.
Right? And we think, is that leaning towards a bust this year compared to its previous year? You know, are they going to live up to what they did last year, points-wise?
I don't know about bust, but I'm pretty sure that they regressed to the mean a little bit, right? Like they were all. You can't have.
What player is going to take the biggest chunk of points?
I mean, you can, I guess.
Off.
I mean, 3,000-yard receivers. Think about that. Like if you go look at the projections, I don't think Kupp is there, but I think Robert Woods and what's his name and Cooks are both over 1,000 yards.
Dude, they're ranked way too high.
You know what I think it's going to be? I think it's going to be.
There's just way too much there. They got what's his name, Reynolds, and I'm sure some of the other guys are going to get targets. And I think this year you'll see not Josh McDaniels. What's the guy? What's the Rams coach's name?
Sean McVay.
Yeah, McVay. Right. He was calling out all the plays last year to Goff after the defense was set. Right. So this year. I think the microphone or whatever the thing is shuts off after the first 15 seconds or when the play clock gets to 15 seconds, right? So the defense, what all the defenses are going to do is they're not going to show the look until, there's 15 seconds left and make Goff make the decision.
Yeah, so I think Goff is going to be the one.
To him, before. So I think what's going to happen is Goff's going to – it's not going to be as good. He'll be okay. He's not a total turd, but at the same time, like there's going to be a lot of learning on his part, and I think that's going to hurt the whole Rams offense. So
as Paulo's saying, I agree with him. He said he thinks Goff's going to take the biggest hit in terms of fantasy value, and I don't disagree with that statement because, like you said, it's like the onus is getting put on Goff to make the decision.
Right.
It's not the coach in your ear being like, all right, we're going to do this when this guy does that, and we're going to hit this. You don't have that safety blanket in your ear.
Nope. So we'll see how that goes. That's going to be interesting. I think they're going to be fine. They'll score points.
Hey, let's bring it to another team. Okay, Sean, let me ask you, what team do you think, if it's not the Rams this year, what team generates the most fantasy points?
What team generates the most fantasy points? Oh, I'm gonna go. Oh God, this is kind of tough.
Are the Saints up there?
No. Well, yeah, they are, but they always are.
Right.
I'm going to throw a team out there that we talked about already. I think the Cleveland Browns are going to produce some high fantasy point values.
Yeah. You got 2 primetime wide receivers, young running back, quarterback that's just...
Two running backs.
Oh, yeah.
When Kareem Hunt comes back, that's another guy. You got David Njoku at tight end.
Baker. And they score. They're not big yards guys. On top of it, they're finishers.
Well, we'll see how Baker does in his sophomore season. But he's got, the weapons are there. The O-line's not great, but it should be good enough.
Hey, so last year we had Cleveland Brown predictions, right? I was wrong. Let's do our 2019-2020 Browns predictions real quick.
I already made mine.
Okay, tell me. What is it?
4 weeks ago on the show.
What was it?
Browns win the AFC North.
Oh, my goodness. I say...
I can get on board with that.
You can?
I can get on board.
I say 9-7.
They're going to win the division.
I don't know what games they're going to win, what they're not. I'm just thinking...
What, Mario?
If they got a good defense, dude. They run the ball. If they can run the ball, which it sounds like, if Chubb and Hunt are healthy, right? Like they run the ball in December. I mean, I could see I could see that easy. 10-6. Who's going to be able to run the ball like that? Pittsburgh will. It sounds like they'll be able to. Who knows? I don't know anything about the line there, but I know John Connor's still there, and he's a beast.
Yeah, I mean,
the Bengals are going to be terrible.
Oh yeah, they're
I don't even know who else in the AFC North.
You got Baltimore. I mean, Mark Ingram's there.
Baltimore, yeah.
But they have zero pass game. But
what about Houston?
Lamar Jackson. Houston's in the AFC South.
I know, but I wasn't thinking about divisions. I was thinking about more points.
Know what? Like division. Yeah. Regardless of the division, dude. I think it's going to put up numbers. The Falcons. I mean, they're inside 13 games this year.
Yeah, see, the Falcons to me are always that, like, they're the boom or bust team. They'll have one game where everybody just lights it up and then they shit the bed.
Shoot, it's almost
weeks.
Quarters. They don't finish games.
Yeah, but I mean, it's again like it's almost like a perfect storm, man. They're not going to be playing out. They play outside 3 games this year.
Oh, that's crazy.
I've never even heard something.
Yeah, they're going to be. They're going to put up numbers.
They play once outside. They have to play once outside at Carolina, once outside at Tampa Bay, and where's their out of conference game?
It doesn't matter.
Tennessee?
I don't think it even matters.
No, Tennessee is in the AFC South.
They play the fucking Saints twice. Sorry, excuse me. They play a lot of good teams, but they play inside. I mean, it's Julio is going to be, I think, better as long as he can stay healthy. It's
always a foot or a wrist or something with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be better in the touchdown category this year, and I think Calvin Ridley.
has a much better year this year. The one thing that just doesn't do it for me is Devontae Freeman.
Really?
I don't, man. I mean, he's got the skills, but it's
boring.
It's never there. It's like
he's good to that boring category, but he could go. You can go 1,000 and like 500.
Honestly, I agree with that. I mean that's definitely feasible.
He could do it.
It's whether or not he can stay in the fucking lineup. He's not a small back. It's just he always gets fucking hurt.
Yeah, he does. Well, over the last couple of years, he's been hurt a couple times. But the seasons that he's been there, and he's been full go. I mean, there's a reason they traded Tevin Coleman. I think they're kind of. I really think they're kind of betting on Devontae Freeman. Well, not traded him, but didn't re-sign him. Whatever. Yeah. I think they like Devontae Freeman, and I think that this other guy Smith's not a
Ito
bowling ball. Yeah, he's more of a
It's kind of like a slasher, but he's a big dude.
Yes.
He's kind of a big dude.
Yeah, he is. That's the one thing I worry about is he might lose some carries to Freeman. Might lose some carries to Ito Smith inside the 20. But I think that's. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think Freeman will get his. If he stays healthy, 8 to 10 touchdowns for Freeman is not like way outside the.
No, but the thing with Freeman is he's going to make up for whatever he lacks in the run game and the pass game.
Yeah.
He's a 50 to 60 catch guy per year. Like you said, 500-600 yards. And that's huge.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's like a crappy receiver.
Yeah, that's like a number 3. That's like a number 3 receiver.
Yeah, you're getting like a player and a half, dude. So I mean, I don't know. I like him. I think he's going to do good. I think Austin Hooper's a good player, and I think he'll be better this year. Then they still got Sanu, don't they?
Yeah.
He was just unpredictable. Well, I don't know what happened last year.
Sanu just
he just dropped off.
They drafted
2 years ago. He had career numbers.
It's all relative with Sanu. They keep bringing in a third wide receiver, and it takes away from his looks, and he's just the guy that gets lost in the mix.
Yeah, it's Julio's team.
Well, yeah, but that's okay. I mean, I think there's going to be plenty of targets to go around. They're going to get in a lot of those high scoring. The defense, their defense is okay.
Yeah, but they're terrible.
They're not good enough to really scare anybody. And the Falcons are going to score points, so whoever they play is going to have to score points, and it's just one of those things, man, where it's going to be there's just a lot of points to go around for them. So I think that they'll have one of those years where it's just a lot of production.
Hey, let's
want a part of those offenses.
Mario, let's talk about your draft tonight.
Okay.
What league is it? How long have you guys been doing it?
It's my league, and for the record,
what's it called? Is it just called Mario's League?
It's
Champions League.
Eddie's and my league should be called Mario's League. I set it up 10 years ago, I think.
Decade? Are you guys a decade in?
Years.
No, dude. It's
10,
been
11, 12 years now.
It's been longer than that, because remember it started on Yahoo Sports? Not
Yeah.
Yahoo.
No, you're right. It was, or not Yahoo. It was,
Fox Sports.
yeah, Fox Sports.
Dang.
Fox Sports, dude.
How many
That's
championships have you won in that league?
Uh,
Hey Mario, have you won? How many times have you won your league?
either 2 or 3 times. I don't know. I think only 2.
And what about you, Foy? Have you won it?
Real close
Of course you
last
have.
Yeah, Sean won it.
I think I won it the first year.
Inaugural.
Sean won it the first year, and
You guys don't have a trophy yet?
no,
How many guys are from the? How many guys are in the league that are still from the beginning?
2.
I don't know, dude. Yeah, just me and him. Just me and Sean. I think,
Everybody else kind of migrated to Eddie's league.
Yeah, Eddie's league. Well, because it was a live draft. You know, I don't know. There was a lot of reasons. Eddie's league's fun. You know, I mean, it's been the staple, dude, over the last
fucking decade
years,
for sure.
Yeah. We've been doing the live draft, and that was like the whole thing with Eddie's league is getting together, messing around. It's the only time we ever see each other.
Yeah. So here's what I'm going to propose on Sunday when we get to Eddie's. When we get to Ken's.
I told you I'm not going to be there, right? I asked you if I could FaceTime you.
That's right, because you got some fucking communist thing to go to on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Some fucking.
You're gonna be the FaceTime guy this year, Mario?
He's got a fucking soccer thing to go to.
So
Fucking my girl's on the Kickers.
I gotta go.
No, Charlotte was good.
She's gangster. I've seen the film. Yeah, Charlotte's her game's nasty.
Well, since you're not going to be there, this is what we're going to propose to do for Eddie's league for the following year. You know, we're just going to throw it out there. It's what we do in Ken's league. So we're going to have 12. We'll have 12 balls to pick from a jar.
12?
Or 10. The number of teams in the league.
Yeah.
So it's 1 through 10. So you pick your ball out, and whatever number that is, it's where you're going to draft from for the first 2 rounds. It'll be a snake the first 2 rounds.
Okay.
All right, and then every other round, you pick the ball out of the can to determine where you're picking in that round. So we would do that for offensive players, and then for defensive players, we'd do something different, or we just go to full defense. I'm kind of getting to the stage where I'm almost over individual defensive players.
Oh, dude, I hated that about your league. I hated that.
Yeah,
it's like fun,
it.
But
it would be fun to do in maybe one league, but it does.
It's a lot of rounds.
So if we do the ball thing, then we're looking at like
go team defense.
5 hours.
Just take a team defense.
Team D.
Or I mean, if we do that, then it's easier.
Yeah.
I mean, or just not do team defense because team defense and kickers are pointless, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
I guess team defense is not that bad, but like
they should be one position.
I'm just over it in general. It's like it can't. There's no real strategy in picking a defense. I swear to God. I mean, who knows who's going to do good in any given year?
Mario,
honestly,
isn't it true? Like, how many defenses, like the Jags, like what the defense that are always number 1 ranked, they don't finish number 1, or even top 5 most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm kind of over that, dude. I think that we should get rid of a lot of stuff.
Do you like the head coach in our other league, Sean?
Next year, we'll see.
Yeah. To answer your question, Paul, I like our head coach in our league.
Yeah, I like
definitely. We have a head
coaches too.
We have in the coaches league. We have a head coach position where it's
different.
It can make or break you, man.
We had a punter too.
Yeah.
Long snapper.
So the head coach either gives you points or takes points away. If you win, you get X amount of points. If you win by more than this amount, you get more, and so on and so forth. If you lose, it's -5, and if you lose by X amount, it's like up to a certain amount of negative points.
Yeah.
So if you pick a shitty coach and they get the shit kicked out of them, you're gonna lose 10 points.
Right. No, I know, and I've seen that before. Ben's in a league that's like that, and I don't know. I wouldn't get behind that. I don't know. It is what it is. It's either or, right? Like,
if you're just picking a team, it's not even the head coach.
I mean, I get it. You're picking a game along with players, which is fine.
Right.
It's just kind of, I don't know. It's kind of defeats the purpose.
So you guys drafted tonight, right, Mario?
Yeah, we did.
Who's the guy you're most happy you got on your team?
I'm gonna say in terms of value,
or the guy you wanted. Like again, when you look at his name on your roster, you're like, sweet.
Yeah, I don't look at it that way. I look at like, okay, there's an area, that we're drafting from, or there's a certain number of guys that we're drafting from in an area. I think the best value I got tonight was Matt Ryan, for sure. No question. I got Matt Ryan in like the 11th round. And I think that was by far the best pick of the draft for me. I mean, I picked a bunch of guys where I thought I'd pick them. Other than that.
What about you, Foy? Who are you most happy about, or who do you think is the best value on your squad?
I'm not going to go with value. I'm going to go in terms of sheer happiness.
Good.
I got... no, I mean, I did...
Luke Kuechly.
I did get the number 1 and number 2 ranked linebackers. Yes, I did. I took the Colts linebacker. I can't think of his damn name. And then Luke Kuechly. But that's not what I'm happy about. I'm more happy about getting Alvin Kamara at 4, so I did not have to pick Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I can get on board with that, too.
Like, that made my day, like, huge. It's like, I would have taken Zeke, but I really didn't want to. Because it's like, you don't know. You just don't know.
No, you don't. You don't know. And you don't know in the first round.
Well, that's what happened to me last year in your league. Remember, I
know, but you can't not do that, though. You can't not. Le'Veon was by far the guy.
I was sitting number 2 last year. I couldn't not take him.
I know. I took David Johnson last year, and I mean, we all know how that turned out.
Oh, dude.
His first overall pick, just absolute dog shit. So it is what it is. I picked. You know what? Now that I think about it, I picked David Johnson 2 years in a row. I had him 2 years ago in Jason Butcher's league.
Yeah.
And I ended up winning the league. Got hurt the first game. Right.
Big up to Jason Butcher.
And I won the league. I won the league somehow. I picked up enough guys to where I tore it up at the end and somehow won. But,
well, hey, let's talk about bad drafts. In our coaches league, I want to throw Big O Tires out. Because he was a FaceTime guy. And this has got to be this has got to be one of the worst drafts of all time, Sean.
Yeah.
If you're the FaceTime guy, you better know what you're doing.
Oh, so in our coaches league, there's rules if you're the FaceTime guy. You get to be FaceTiming for 2.
Well, no. He was on. No, let me.
Yeah, break it down, Sean.
He was on auto draft because he only called in for his first 2 picks. So his first pick, he took Zeke, and then he took Juju Smith-Schuster. After that, he was on auto draft. The way auto draft works in the coaches league is that you get the next best available at a certain position, and it doesn't continue. It goes like, so whatever the next best available is that he's got, like he went running back, receiver, his next best was tight end. So then he got Zach Ertz, and then he got Melvin Gordon, and then he got Andrew Luck, and then he got he got one other guy that's fucking, I got AJ Green.
It was just like, oh man, and we did it by the ESPN 200 or 300, whichever one, and it just became eventually throughout the week. The whole Andrew Luck thing is hilarious. You know what I mean? Who had so in your Champions League, Mario? Who had, just call them out by their team name? You don't have to throw out personal names. Who had the worst draft?
Mario's brother-in-law.
The brother-in-law?
The brother-in-law.
Oh, man.
He always is.
How many years has he been in the league?
Making the worst picks. I don't know. He just picks guys you can pick in the last round.
He's a fucking bloody Scotsman.
Oh, is that an accent?
Yeah, well, he had a good team last year, right? He ran into Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, just coincidentally.
Yeah, like I think he randomly will pick guys like out of nowhere that end up doing good. But I mean, Curtis Samuel, for Christ's sakes, is like, he's like the number 2 or number 3 in Carolina, where they don't throw the ball very much.
Well, Cam Newton's fucking terrible.
Yeah, and then he picked somebody else before. I don't even remember what he did, but he didn't. He texted me afterward. He's like, "I'll donate my money in about a week." Sorry, buddy. Sorry for that, buddy. Apologizing about how bad it was. So, I think that I'm pretty sure Davey took a dump. Mike always thinks he knows what he's doing, and then ends up.
I'm surprised he didn't take more Raiders.
In the 15th round, huh?
I'm surprised he didn't take more Raiders.
Who has the most fan? Yeah. So how about that? There's always the guy that picks guys from his team. Like, I'll just obviously pick Niners. I don't know if you do it, Mario.
I think we all know who that was tonight. And that's Norwine. Norwine's like
Norwine took every fucking Chief he could.
5 Chiefs.
But that's are the Chiefs going to be the number one
But
point
he
scoring
didn't
team?
even get like the good Chiefs.
Oh.
No, like just some random.
He got like
Louis picked a bunch of Cowboys too. Louis picked Zeke, and
I knew Louis was going Zeke.
Somebody else. You got a couple guys.
I just knew with Louis sitting at number 2, there was no way he was going to let Zeke pass him by because he never gets Zeke.
No,
Guys, just listen to this, and hopefully these are good notes to help you if you're having a draft from now until
Don't be a fucking homer.
next
Don't be
week.
a fucking homer.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's like rule number 1.
Don't pick guys because they're on your fucking favorite team. Unless they're like the best player in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Just don't do it.
If it makes sense, fine. But don't be that guy.
Hey, I want to take a timeout and talk about Epic Eyewear.
Shoot, Paulo.
Well, I'm looking at your freaking face. We've been in the sun all day, and you've been wearing your glasses. Sean's got the gnarliest side of eye to ear
You mean my
sunglass
raccoon?
time.
My
Yeah, he
raccoon
looks like a
sunglass?
freaking raccoon, but it's totally worth it because Epic Eyewear sunglasses are awesome. I've been wearing them forever now, like the last 2 weeks. There's no freaking scratches.
2 weeks counts as forever.
Pretty much.
You've
During a
had
football, for me, during the summer,
Paulo, you've had
beginning
them
of
for
the
like 2
season,
months.
I'm telling you. Well,
You've
I've
had
been
it for like
trading
2
them out.
months.
I've been trading them out. People have been wearing them. But Epic Eyewear, awesome shades. Use our promo code WHISTLE10.
Whistle 10 gets you 10% off. Not to mention they're veteran owned.
Yes. Women women started the company. We talked about that last episode.
A female.
A person of another gender, which isn't in huge quantity in the military. Boom.
Fair. Well, good save, Paulo.
Yeah, well,
Good
I've
save.
been drinking,
Good save, Paul.
we've been drinking the makers, and it's getting to me now, I think.
Is it? We've had one cocktail.
I know, I've had
Is
more
it
than a
ju-
cocktail.
Are you just saying that my old fashions are that much better than yours?
Yours crush, bro. And that's why I default to you all the time.
Yeah, mine are way
I'm
better.
not the barman. We haven't had a cocktail together in months, it feels like.
Yeah.
And this is a solid cocktail. No, but...
Sean can't do podcasts with a torn up knee.
Oh, dude.
No, I forget where I was last. What did I do last week? Oh no, I had a golf thing last week, a tournament thing.
Sean, you were in a golf tournament, and he only played short game.
Yeah, I
And
only putted.
how many
Chipped.
putts? How many of your putts counted? You did pretty good.
I putted pretty well. I chipped pretty well too.
How many counted?
Oh, nice.
Like I don't know, 30%.
Okay.
It's not bad out of 18 holes.
Mario, you been playing golf?
No, me? I don't know. I haven't played much in the last few months, but yeah, I mean, I'm down to about a 10 right now, 10, 11.
I know.
I'm all right. I wouldn't say I'm good.
Do you want me to set you up with a game versus Coach Armena? He will play you. Name the price at the ranch.
Of course he will. Yeah,
Of course he will.
I know.
He's been playing every day,
Well, Tony always plays every day.
walking it. He's the man.
And he's walking it with Epic Eyewear. That's what
He
he's
does.
doing.
Tony's actually raw. If someone's wearing Epic Eyewear more than anyone else in the Santa Ynez Valley, it's Tony Armenta. This guy is walking getting his steps. Do you see him at practice?
Getting his
I'll be like,
random
what?
steps in.
I'm like, is he okay? He's walking back and forth in circles. Like, I'm getting my steps in. But no, Epic Eyewear is amazing. Check them out. EpicEyewear.com. Whistle10. Use the promo code. Give them as a gift. You know,
Wear it for yourself.
Just leave them in your car.
Hey,
And then
not to completely change the subject, but didn't somebody get a hole in one at that Chumash tournament last week?
Oh
Yes,
yes,
they did.
it was a young lady.
It was
Yeah.
Maxine Littlejohn.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so that not only does it win her a Mini Cooper, it wins the whole squad a Mini Cooper,
Well,
right?
wasn't- It wasn't-
Everybody got a car.
it wasn't
Everybody
the
got a
Minis, it was the Chevy.
car.
Oh, okay, even
Everybody-
better.
Everybody won a car up to with a $35,000 value.
Whoa!
Yeah, that dude that used to work at the river course. He was in that group. AJ,
Yeah.
I know he was in that group. AJ and then the lady that older lady, and then she was the one that had the ace, and then the other two people they all got $35,000 cars from.
So, for all the tournaments you guys have done, how many times has a hole-in-one winner happened?
That's the second time I've seen it.
And what was the first time?
The first time was probably 8 years ago at the same tournament
Oh,
on hole 4.
the
Mario.
same.
No, different hole. Dude, one of the dudes that owns El Rancho got a hole-in-one on hole 4. He used like a driver on the par 3 and got a hole-in-one and won a Camaro or a Corvette.
Like 72 years old.
Oh, dude, this is pathetic. The guy's using a fucking driver. It's a 200-yard par 3.
But it went in.
I can't say shit. The motherfucker hit it right in the hole.
Yeah, I can't either, dude. I'm hardly ever that close to that.
What's the closest to a hole when you've ever had? Like right on the lip?
4 feet.
4 feet? What about you, Lou?
I've come pretty close. I was like, I don't know, 8 inches, I think, at Sandpiper, and then I came pretty close at, where was I?
I've gotten close at Muni. I should say, not Muni, Glen Annie. I got within 2 feet in Glen Annie.
Yeah, Glen Annie. Yeah, I think it was like, I don't know which. I think it's 9. There's a par 3 that kind of is like on
the uphill one.
Yeah, it's a little bit uphill, kind of going into the clubhouse. And I was with Jason and Brock. We were playing in the Forester tournament, and I hit one to like 3 or 4 feet there, and it like crossed the face, you know. It was close. But the one at Glen Annie I thought was in. I thought that or not Glen Annie, the one at Sandpiper that I think it was 11. I think that's the downhill, you know, going into the ocean par 3.
See, my biggest fear is I'm going to get a hole-in-one when it doesn't count for anything. Then I'm just going to be pissed.
Guaranteed that's what's going to happen to me.
It's like, oh, cool, I got a fucking hole-in-one, but I didn't win anything. That's great. That's really fucking great. I'm going to be so fucking mad. I might throw my clubs, break my fucking putter.
Dude, don't you only play tournaments?
The only time you play by yourself, you hit a hole-in-one.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, real good, because nobody's going to fucking believe you.
Yep, total waste.
Kind of a segue. Talking about golf, you know, the guy that I roll with, Brooks Koepka, and the ESPN body issues out. Have you checked it out this season's athletes and their bodies, Sean?
No, Scott.
No,
I don't look at that shit.
Lakey Peterson.
Who?
The surfer girl.
Who the fuck is that?
She's from Santa Barbara.
And?
Sponsored by Nike.
Good for her.
World champ.
Good for her. I don't know who the fuck that is.
You don't know her?
Fuck no. There's only one surfer that
Kelly Slater.
Exactly. That's the only surfer you need to fucking know about.
What about Duke Hamamaka?
I ain't Kama bro, so I can't fucking...
Dude, what about Laird? Laird Hamilton.
Ooh, that's right.
Come on.
Wasn't he a skateboarder?
No, he's the guy that rides big waves. He's like...
He's Gabrielle Reese's husband.
Is that the guy that was in riding Mavericks or whatever?
He's in it, but
no, it's a guy
Step into Liquid.
I mean, we might have been. It's Chasing Mavericks.
Chasing Mavericks.
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember. I think he might have been, but he was like in Endless Summer. He hosted those 2 dudes, and they were out in Tahiti. They rode all those big waves.
I remember Laird Hamilton. But when you think surfing from our generation,
he's still the best.
You go Kelly Slater all day.
Have you seen Kelly Slater's like backyard wave pool thing he's got?
It's fucking ridiculous,
dude. That thing is insane.
No.
Yeah, but I'm not a surfer.
I can't. Man. I'm a bodyboarder.
Yeah, I body surf. I boogie board. I float like a champion. You know, with the waves, just keeping my head above the water.
I like boogie boarding, but goddamn, does it chafe my nipples?
I won't get that.
That's why you gotta wear the rash guard, bruh.
So I will hardly get in the Pacific. It's too damn cold here to get in the water.
I'm not worried about the cold. It's the fucking sharks on the coastline that I'm worried about.
Yeah,
man.
That too. Sharks, cold.
Dude, you've been vacationing a lot this year, Mario.
Dude, you just got back from Belize.
Give me the rundown for this, like the last 2 years where you've been around the world, or just cool places around the nation.
We went to Belize, and that was pretty rad, dude. It's cheap, dude. It's 2 to 1, right? So
right.
$2 Belize dollars to one
American.
We had a great time, dude. The only crappy thing about that side of the world, or that side of the Yucatan, right, where the seaweed there is like super gnarly, you know, like it's this seaweed called sargassum, and it like
I love orgasm.
Invades, yeah, right. I know it invades the beach, right? So it's like there's like piles of seaweed right in front of the.
I would say something totally inappropriate to that, but I'm not going to
do it. Say it, Sean.
So warm that we did a lot of swimming and hung out there and did our thing, dude. But it's rad. I mean, we were eating lobster for like $25 US a night.
Yeah. So pretty pretty much I want you and your wife to hear this. I got really tired of seeing all the fucking pictures of you guys eating great food hanging out on a beach.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
It's like, oh look, Mario's still in fucking Belize. It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Kind of like when you went to Europe and fucking cascaded the continent for a month.
We did that. We went to Spain last year, and that was a lot of fun, dude. I would do that again. I wouldn't necessarily go to all the same places, but Barcelona's bitching, and we went to Granada and Sevilla, which are like southern Spain, and that was pretty badass.
Grenada, isn't that where there was that military evacuation?
I don't know.
Would you go to Pampanello and watch the running of the bulls?
Pamplona?
No, but there was definitely
Pamplona.
Pamplona.
Yeah,
there was definitely a bull ring in Sevilla, but I don't think there was anything.
Dude, have you ever seen a bullfight?
Dude, I've heard bullfights are fucking intense to watch.
Intense, bro.
Yeah,
I would watch one.
People who aren't, I think, and this is because obviously it's highly criticized by a lot of people, animal cruelty, all these other people.
But they eat the bull.
But the people who are like fierce, who've competed, we're athletes. We understand what's going on. It's 1-on-1, bro. I don't care if you've got little sabers.
You go against a fucking 800-pound bull with big ass horns.
I'm the bull most of the time, and they dude. When the human gets caught,
they get fucked up.
Fuck, bro. They're wearing their fancy little vests and with their bedazzled ass little black hat.
All right, quick question.
Give it to me.
Quick question. Would you guys ever consider doing the running of the bulls?
No.
I used to. When I used to, but now, no way.
There was a lot of stuff I used to consider before I had kids, right? Like, no, not right now.
Have you seen? I think there's a special. I don't know if it's on one of the internet sites, Netflix or Amazon. I think it's called Bull or whatever, and it's about families who've been doing it for years. Like, it's the most detailed documentary about the running of the bulls. And have you ever remember the video? Like, what the guys who live in Pamplona, they don't run away. They're running with the bulls. They're running next to them, and they're like, "Hey, okay, this is how we're going." They're guiding them almost. They're like the sheepdogs. And I don't know if you. So obviously they're on like cobblestone wet bricks, turning on a camber. It's freaking gnarly, and they crash into a wall, and they're going the wrong way. The bulls are facing the wrong way, and a guy's like a guy who's done it 20, 30 years, bro. His kid's doing it. His dad did it, right? And he gets the bull's attention and turns them around and gets them going. It's an intense thing to see.
Oh, I bet.
And he saved all those bystanders.
I would love bystanders.
What'd I say?
You said bystander.
Why am I throwing a hard D in there? I hear I'm saying it. Fucking makers.
I would love to watch the running of the bulls.
Watch it.
Just be a fly on the wall, some little bar getting shit-faced watching all these fucking idiots run from the bulls. That'd be so awesome.
You know what's even a crazier thing? So they run them into an arena. And those people, so the craziest part, I think, is the tunnel into the arena, Sean. They fall apart. They climb down. Some of the gnarliest injuries happen there. And then, I don't know what, they're like, hey, they're almost here. Everyone's almost safe. We're going to all lay down in a pile on the ground and create a jump. And the freaking bulls come, and then they jump over like 30 people lying next to each other. It's freaking stupid.
It's like the human bunny hop.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, hey, you want to see me fucking ollie over this fucking can of people? It's ridiculous, but it's one of the most intense things. For me, it's a tradition thing. They raise the bulls to be, for this thing. It's cool. What's your overall feeling about that? They eat the bull.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's kind of a rite of passage thing. To me, that's what it is.
I would go to Spain and do that though. That's
It's definitely it's passing it down from generation to generation, and even so even with the animals, it's like those bulls are bred specifically for that,
and they live a good life.
Yeah, they have it good, and it's not like it goes to waste.
Mm-mm.
No, we were there during the World Cup, so that was kind of the thing. That's obviously at the time, right? Like that was a lot of fun. We would go to the bars there and hang out and watch the game, and it's like
just going America.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, no. Well, it'd be nice if we were in the damn thing, but no, we were in the middle of this it's big. They have like all these little squares, these little town squares, and you like go hang out, watch, do your
Tiananmen
thing,
Square?
dinner. And it's like, yeah, I don't know what it's called, but they have like, they have these big courtyard areas, and there was like probably 15,000 people, and everybody had a TV, and all the bars were like putting the TVs outside because it was hot, and they have these overhangs with all the like the misters and shit. And they like, I don't know, it was rad. There was a lot of people, and the energy for something like that, especially in like Sevilla is not a huge town. I mean, it's big, but it's not like enormous.
But everyone's focused on that kind of thing.
Like that, everybody. Oh, it's like everyone. It's not some people. It's everybody.
Well, you know what I think, even like the World Cup could be anywhere in the world, but Spain and France and some of these countries, Europe in general, is a great time to be in Europe during a World Cup.
Well, when all you got is round ball, I mean, typically that's all you got.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, what about Team USA losing in hoops? Did you hear about that?
They lost to somebody, then they beat Canada.
Yeah.
Have you? Who's on Team USA?
I think it was Australia.
I don't even know who's on the team.
Yeah, nobody gives a. It's like
they should still you should still have Kobe and Jason Kidd be on the team.
So no,
they still do better.
Yeah, it's like turning into preseason football.
Yeah. So
honestly.
So here is my expert opinion on Team USA right now, and I'm pulling it straight from Major League.
Okay.
Who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah.
It's like nobody gives a shit. It's like, congrats.
Well, it's not it's not Olympic year. I only care about Team USA during the Olympics, right? Is that like unfair to say? We got Jaylen Brown, Mason Plumlee, come on, Marcus Smart, Harrison Barnes, Brooks Lopez, Chris Middleton, Donovan Mitchell, and Jason Tatum.
That's dog shit.
Oh my gosh.
That's like the C squad. That's like the C squad of the NBA.
Not even.
But that's like the
players on that team. Like that's not.
That's like the M squad.
That's the D League.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, that is.
It's like, oh cool, go represent the United States. You guys suck.
Yeah, Mike Krzyzewski, you ain't that good of a coach.
Well,
oh no, it's Pop, huh? This year.
I don't know, but when you think about it this way, it's like, so you just read off the roster for Team USA, when you know that every other country that's involved in this tournament play has all professional, like the country's best.
They have NBA players.
Their best players from their country representing their country.
Well, let me look at Team Australia. Right, it's you could name the guys.
But still, it's like everybody else is sending their best, and we're sending like our 8th best.
Well, because our guys play in the NBA and they play mad games, and
everybody isn't the same stuff going on in all sports right now, man. Everybody just wants to get paid. Everybody realizes, well, my body's going to be so broken after this that I need to make as much money as I possibly can right now. So that's why we're seeing all
honestly,
this other garbage. It's like it's all the same. Bryce Harper wasn't signed until right before the season. That never happens in baseball.
Never.
And that it's getting to the point where it's not. It's all bad. All the publicity is starting to. It's all this garbage about, this un-American BS and like all the other, there's just so many. It's not even a sport anymore. It's just about the story. Like I'm kind of sick of that, dude. Let's just play the game.
I mean,
let's do what we're paid to do.
These guys are making a better life than they ever would have in anything else.
How many games are they really playing in the summer? 15.
The basketball guys?
Yeah.
Less than 20?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Less than
15 to 20. And they're probably and that's probably counting like live scrimmages for practice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My thing with that is like, dude, do you want to go to, like, if you do summer league, I would count that as like training camp. I'm like, I'm ready for the season after that. I'm going to skip camp and, just work on my shit individually with the team. But it's just like, I'm going to ease myself in because I'm already primed and ready to go because I've been playing all summer competitively. Yeah.
The Drew League in LA is really competitive, and then, Vegas is popping off for all these games. They're everywhere on like social media. Like, you got young talent playing in these teams against vets and current, stars. You got freaking, like I said, me and Rekka were talking about J. Cole and his game, and he's playing with like Chris Paul.
Yeah. So you mentioned Bryce Harper real quick about signing right before the season.
The more and more I think about that deal, the more and more I think fucking the Washington Nationals overpaid. Like,
Phillies?
don't get me wrong, Bryce Harper's good, but he's not $300 million good.
No.
Dude,
Well,
he's a career 250 hitter.
he's got $300 million talent. I don't
Yeah,
know,
though he's a $300 million personality on top of it too. So he's gonna have
Yeah.
decent numbers. He's gonna sell jerseys. He's gonna do all the commercials. You know what I mean?
He's no Mike Trout.
But Mike Trout isn't. Bryce Harper are gonna remember. People are gonna remember Bryce Harper more than Mike Trout.
No way.
I guarantee.
No fucking way. Mike Trout.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, I mean, it just depends. Well, that's like kind
He's more of a character, bro. I'm telling you, it'll last.
We'll see. Like the next 10 years.
Trout is a freaking piece of sheetrock.
Dude, Mike Trout's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh, first again, you're just thinking.
What's that, Mario?
I have to agree with that. I mean,
he's that much better.
There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys that that you see, especially in baseball, like that kind of flash in the pan type dudes that that make a splash for a couple years and they're gone. And I guess that happens in a lot of sports. But Mike Trout, like I haven't seen that short a swing with that short a bat since Bonds.
Dude, and it's ridiculous.
He just everything is this short, quick to the ball, drops the head, and the ball just absolutely flies.
So I had number 1 draft pick in my baseball league this year.
Yeah.
Ken is my fantasy baseball team partner. We took Mike Trout. Mike Trout's sitting on 42 dongs with 100 home runs.
Right.
42 fucking bombs.
With 100 RBIs, which look, I mean, I'm not comparing Bonds to Trout,
completely different players.
Obviously, yeah, completely different player. Well, kind of, but I mean, the swing path is real similar. They don't use the big bat,
and I agree. Didn't Bonds use like a 34 bat or something?
Not big, dude. I don't know.
Oh, it was small, bro. And he had that fat tape wad on the butt,
and he just choke up and short to it, long through it, just drive. It didn't matter where it was,
and he just murder it.
Does that create a bigger sweet spot on the bat?
I heard stories of Bonds going back to Arizona State when he was playing with the Giants.
Oh, the Iron Mike challenge?
Challenge people on the Iron Mike and say, let's see how close you can get, and still hit it solid, and he'd win all of those.
Tell me what the Iron Mike challenge is.
Well, the Iron Mike challenge was, the Iron Mike it's a pitching machine. I don't know do you know what that is?
I don't. Like, is it just your basic pitching machine?
It's this kind of box looking thing, and it's got an arm that flings the ball at you.
Okay.
And it's just an advanced level pitching machine, right? And it's supposed to be and act like like it's coming from the release point of a pitcher, right? So this thing, I mean, you can get it going fast, like hard. It throws hard, and it's harder than the wheel and all the other garbage that they have out there. But the Iron Mike, it was probably the hardest pitching machine to hit off of because it kind of like flings the ball and it just looks like it's on you quickly,
Yeah.
So Bonds would get, it's 60 feet 6 inches from the mound. So that's where the plate's at when you're hitting off the mic. And what he would do is he would get like closer and closer and closer and closer. And
he'd step closer or he'd move the machine closer?
No, he would move closer.
Oh, wow.
He can't move the machine closer. He would move closer, right? So you move, he would move closer and closer and closer to the machine, and whoever he was challenging would do the same, right? He said, hey, look, let's see who can get closest and still hit it solid, right? And there's nobody that could come close to doing what he could do. Bonds would hammer time anybody on the mic.
Mario, so I believe this because what I've heard Barry doing is his reaction, his eyesight is so good that he could see like the ball getting released. He's noticing grip, ball spin, drop, and all this stuff, and like he's breaking down 3 or 4 things that happen in hundredths of a second. Like I've never heard of an athlete with reaction time or be able to process that information and apply it to a home run swing. One of the most amazing things I've ever seen. To hear about,
right.
So this Iron Mike challenge is like,
right up his alley,
right?
So here's my take on Barry Bonds. Everybody's gonna knock him for the alleged steroid use. Okay.
Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. He's juiced out of his mind.
Never tested positive, guys.
Never tested positive. But if you compare the body type from the Pirates to the Giants, he grew an inch and fucking...
You're talking about a
40.
30-year career, man.
So here's my thing. Steroids in baseball help you in the long game. Your recovery's great because it's a battle of attrition.
Right.
162 games, you want to stay on the field.
Right. But he was also a gym rat. It's not like he wasn't working on...
No,
I mean,
definitely not.
And at one point, everybody. I mean, look, the steroid era was the steroid era.
Everybody did it. Everybody did it.
But he took something completely different than everybody.
Some form of something or HGH or whatever they were doing, and that's like...
It wasn't illegal. It was not illegal.
No, well, I mean, I think it was...
It was frowned upon. It was frowned upon.
It was frowned upon. Okay, but anyways, I mean, it also, like, I mean, think about... I hate to say this, but like the golden era of baseball, which to me is like the Sosa,
the McGuire run,
that whole era, which I know is not like what they term the golden era, but like that's
for our lifetime it is.
I remember, for our lifetime, I remember that's. I really didn't watch baseball after that. I was kind of over it. It's boring. It's a long game. I never really got into.
So Mario, we're hitting more home runs now than ever, right?
Well, right now.
But
that's just because that's what's being taught now.
And now, is it the ball being? And what about the ball being different?
Drive, right. Let's see how far you can hit it. Nobody pays to watch people bunt and run.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about that.
Small ball's dead.
So what's your take on these live balls?
I don't know if that's a thing or not. I don't. What is that, Verlander's thing, where he was like getting all crazy about it because he thought that the league was juicing the balls for ratings. Which who knows? That might be the case.
That could be the case.
But I don't. Who cares?
Nobody wants to come and watch a fucking 1-0 game. Everybody wants to see people want to see the fucking long ball.
No, and they are. I mean, that's what's being taught now. It's this drop and drive. Like I never heard. Josh Donaldson said this at like the beginning of the year. He said, you want to hit the bottom of the ball, and elevate the ball. I never I was never
always top of the ball.
No, but top inside half and drive down on the ball to create backspin. And it'll go, But then you also miss down, which is fine. If you can hit the ball hard enough, hit the top part of the ball hard enough, you got a much better chance of getting a hit than trying to miss down.
Like it's socially
obvious.
It's socially acceptable now to be a 220 hitter with 40 home runs. It's acceptable.
Which is kind of silly.
It's like
OBP don't matter. It's like nobody cares about that. Just how far can you hit it?
Exactly. And that kind of bothers me. I appreciate the guys that are career 280 to 290 hitters because they're doing their job of getting on base. It's like
you got to have a little bit of both. You got to fill in between. It's going back to an old school strategy, I think, where you would place these guys in, load the bases and then try to hit home runs and freaking get ribbies.
The biggest
right. Well, and you can even tell like the body types are all changing. Like I went to a UCSB game and I went to watch them play Missouri State. I don't know, like in March or somewhere in there. And I remember showing up to the game and being like, man, everybody is huge. Like when I was there, we weren't small, but we also weren't like not everybody was 6'2", 220. Like literally every guy is humongous, right? Like you have like no chance unless you're enormous now. I mean, in Missouri State, the pitchers were all 6'7". It's like it's almost a joke. You know? Like unless you throw 90 plus, bro, you're not going to have an opportunity to play anywhere.
Yeah, you don't got a shot.
It doesn't matter anymore. Nobody pays to see Greg Maddux or a Thummer or anybody that's...
Or a Glavin.
No, nobody pays to see any of that. They want to see the 100-mile-an-hour fastball. It's just power on power, dude. There's no more finesse or small ball, or it's weird.
So
it's a different game.
So I want to go back to Bonds real quick because I didn't finish making my point with Barry. Obviously there are some issues with alleged steroid use. Whatever, be that as it may. People kept talking about, he should have asterisks, all this shit. Here's my argument to that. Steroids do not help your hand-eye coordination. And
yeah, no, they don't.
How many... You look at Barry Bonds' numbers for his at-bats for the year. Barry Bonds walked, 300 times a year?
Yeah.
300 times a year. So he's getting roughly, let's lowball and say 650 at bats.
Do you remember that they intentionally walked him with the bases loaded?
Yeah.
That one time, it was like unheard of.
So,
No amount of walks.
Back to my point. So he's got 650 at bats. He's walking almost half of his at bats. Mm-hmm. So his sample size is 350 plate appearances. 72 of those are gone for home runs.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about that's 25% of his at bats for the year are going for home runs. That is fucking insane.
Oh man.
That is hand-eye coordination to the fucking T.
And not only was it, I think, a great era for home run hitters, there were some great pitchers out there, bro. It's not like he's seeing fucking bums, you know?
No.
Definitely not. There was more polished, like, veteran guys.
The guys who knew how to play the plate, you know, there was a lot of guys with heat.
Here's how I see it. There were actually pitchers. They weren't throwers. Nowadays we got a lot of guys that throw hard and specialize. These guys that he had to face were fucking pitchers.
Yes.
You know, they had to go out and pitch the game. They didn't have this one lefty in the bullpen to face one guy. This guy had to face the lineup 3 times.
Right.
Yeah, think about being a lefty and trying to face Randy Johnson. You know, I mean,
oh my gosh,
when he was the Diamondbacks, dude. Like, it was.
You're gonna lose
multiple times.
That's a lose situation.
A year. Yeah.
You're not catching a 97-mile-an-hour slider down and away as a lefty. Not a chance. Just dirty.
Yeah.
Just dirty.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I you know, that's a different deal.
Where is he all time on pitchers? Top 5.
Randy Johnson?
Is he?
No.
Oh, he's got a
10.
He's probably top 10, top 15.
I don't. Yeah, maybe top 10. I have to think about that. I don't
Most
know.
intimidating all time?
Who?
The big unit. Is he the most intimidating pitcher of all time?
Most intimidating?
Who
No.
do you not want to see? Like, you get one MLB at bat. Who do you not want to see?
Bob Gibson.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it about Bob Gibson that you don't want to see?
He'd probably throw it at Mario's. I'd do the same thing Bob would do. Just throw it at Mario's head.
Throw it anywhere, right? Like, I think that's what he wasn't scared to throw it up and in. He wasn't scared of it didn't matter. You know, he'd buzz you, no problem. You know, and I think he had a reputation of being that way. You know, being just an absolute bulldog, would never give in. You know, never gave you what you thought you were going to get. And he blew Ched. You know, he was like
Blue Ched.
98. Yeah. Oh yeah, cheddar like cheese. Fast.
So here, for me, if I was a hitter, the guy I wouldn't want to face, probably Mariano Rivera. You know what he's gonna throw. He only threw one fucking pitch, but you still couldn't hit it. I mean, and it got incrementally slower as his career went on, and you still couldn't hit it.
Yeah, well, that's something to be said. If you throw one pitch different ways, you know, you throw something that breaks in, something that breaks away, and something that's straight. You know, that's all it is, right? You could do that with, you know, you could throw two pitches, fastball, changeup, and probably have, you know, a ton of success if you
can locate.
Yeah.
You know, well, if you made them look the same, right? Just two different.
So hey,
they look the same, but they have 2 different speeds. You know, I mean, that's tough.
So one guy I wouldn't want to see that would like intimidate the shit out of me, and he was on one of my teams, Oakland A's, Dave Stewart. That motherfucker was scary as hell.
Yeah,
Doc.
I don't know. If I had to pick an A I didn't want to see, it'd be Dennis Eckersley.
Both of them were together though. It was like, oh, I'm seeing the A's in the late '80s, early '90s, like Fruta.
It's that
Jack Morris. Jack Morris is another. He didn't throw very hard, but Jack Morris is an absolute beast.
Was Jack Morris Jack Morris was on the Tigers, right?
It was on the Twins and the Tigers. Yeah.
Okay. Like, the thing with me with Eckersley, it's the arm angle. You get in that fucking submarine action. It looks like it's going to hit you and just runs across on you.
I know this doesn't matter, but great stash.
Great stash.
Great stash.
Great stash. Yeah, of course.
Hey, what about was it what the Little League World Series finished? Virginia or Louisiana. Oh man. But I'll tell you what, it was over before I knew it. Most time you see all these.
It didn't seem like there was a lot of coverage.
It wasn't a lot of coverage this year. Most time it gets way more coverage.
They had
Count Curacao, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they beat Curacao.
And then Curacao lost the consolation match or something.
Oh,
They lost.
No, I think Louisiana had a kid, I think, that batted perfect.
What?
He batted 1,000 in the tournament.
Like the lefty had like 15 hits or something.
Yeah, it was crazy. He hit a grand slam, dude. The kid was hitting bombs.
So the home runs are happening at this early of a stage. Like the game's changing for them even.
Yeah, but dude, those kids are using dog shit bats. I mean, the bats nowadays suck.
Yeah.
And the fields, like pony baseball fields, aren't. They could be bigger.
No, I think they're the right size.
Okay.
I think they're the right
Yeah.
size for the age group. I mean,
Yeah.
Mario, like when you and I were in Little League, it seemed like the fences were a little bit farther back, but
Yeah.
not by much.
But the bats were like.
The bats were way better.
Were hot.
So-
Yeah, they were hot.
Mario, you played for UCSB and you went to Butte or Chico?
I went to Butte College. Up there.
So, and you've been around the game for a while. You've been doing things. I don't know what else you did. Were you ever with a guy who went the furthest in the Little League World Series? Do you know anyone who went super far in the Little League World Series?
Do you remember? I think Sean knows who this is, but do you remember Ashton White?
Where is he from?
He's Mission Viejo.
Yeah, I think that name rings a bell.
Remember that? Like,
Yeah.
I think they were our age, or maybe like a year older. You know, somewhere in there. I played with a guy that played with him. So I played with a guy named Taylor Holiday that played with Ashton White in the Little League World Series. So look, if I like thought about it, I think there's maybe a couple other guys that I played against that were there. I think Colby and Cody Rasmus were there at one point. I think they were close to our age, but I don't know. I never played against either of them. They were acquaintances of people I knew.
Yeah,
I guess.
but you were in like your era in terms of being in college. Like you went against some pretty prominent guys. Like at the time you were at UCSB, you played like Long Beach State and Fullerton, and you went against some dudes.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah,
But was any of those, Mario, more competitive and more meaningful than when you played for the Santa Ynez Pirates and you were playing football against the Carpenderia Warriors? Warrior Pride.
Well, I mean, what year? We were dog shit. I enjoyed playing football, I think, more than anything that I did in college. But, that's neither here nor there. You learn how to... College is it's a grind. I mean, football's fun, Football is a lot of fun. Once you get to college, it's
a job. It's a job you're not getting paid for.
Man. It's not it's a lot of effort and a lot of time, and you have to really, you got to work, man. That's the time where it really begins to be just kind of a pain in the ass.
Totally.
So how many touchdowns have you skipped?
Don't get me wrong, I had a great time, dude, but it was,
It's a grind.
it was a lot.
Mario, but it's Carp Week for us.
Oh, it is. Oh, really?
Yes, it's rivalry week for the high school.
What's this? You guys are going there or what?
Yeah,
We are going there.
Nice.
What's your career stats against Carpenderia?
Are they half decent?
They're gonna be they'll be better than they were last year.
Good. Well, you guys played your tails off on Friday. I thought you guys played well after the first half. So.
Yeah, we made a lot of little mistakes. A lot of little things in a tight game that get you the L instead of the dub. That's the saying in any sport.
Mm-hmm.
Any game you play, you make enough small mistakes, it's going to prevent you from the win.
Yeah, I mean you gotta. That's why everybody always focuses on the small little detail. Don't make penalties. Don't turn the ball. High school it seems like it's pretty simple, not like play calling wise, but for like if you just execute the game plan, for the most part you'll win.
And that's you're going against a better team. That you run into those teams that are just better than you, but you're not putting yourself in precarious positions to lose. You're doing everything you can to win. And then if they beat you, they just beat you because they're better. But, you do the little things right, the big things take care of themselves. And, moving forward this week, we're hoping to get past those little mistakes and come out and play solid football. But so Carp Week, it's the second longest rivalry in the state of California. This is, I want to say it's our 78th meeting.
And it's almost 50-50 wins to lot, as far as the record. I think we're down by like 4.
No, I think it's closer than that. I think it's like...
But we've won the last 4 years.
We've won the last 4 years. Carp's got the overall record like 34 to 31-1 or 31-2.
And they like played so far back. Like their first games were like 8-man football.
It was.
It sounds like a joke, but it's for real. It's like one of the longest.
No, you're probably right. I don't know.
It's the second longest rivalry in the state, and that's something we take pride in. And there's an old saying in Santa Ynez during Carp Week.
Fuck Carp.
It's fuck Carp. That's the rules we live by.
Right.
If I could trade one game from our senior year, Mario, it'd be the Carp game because we got our asses kicked, and they weren't that much better than us.
No, but we
played like dog shit.
What about your junior year?
Oh, we beat them 51-0. They were terrible.
Yeah. Well, junior year was different. Yeah. Junior year.
And then what about your sophomore year, Sean? You guys were too good.
Sophomore year, we murdered Mario. Like even the JV team murdered him.
Yeah, we won. Yeah, JV. I think we beat them.
How many touchdowns do you think you scored against Carpenderia, Mario?
I don't know. Maybe 1 or 2. I honestly don't remember. I think we only.
Well, we got shut out our senior year, so we didn't score any touchdowns.
Senior year I didn't score. I don't remember. I think maybe I scored.
They kept you out of the end zone? Mario has... What records does Mario have, Sean?
Mario's got the single game touchdown record tied at 5. Yeah. And then he's got the single game rushing record for yardage at 314.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep. Well, that could have been broken a couple times, but I think for whatever reason... People were taking
those kind of records, it has to be a game.
I was gonna lose it, huh?
Those kind of records, it has to be a game. Like if you're blowing out a team, you're not gonna pull.
So here's my thing.
Well, it was like a perfect storm, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Last game, Cabrillo sucked, but they stayed in the game with us, which forced you to stay in the game. It's like a lot of people say, "Oh, they should have pulled him." No, they shouldn't have pulled him because they kept.
Pulled. I didn't play the last 8.5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone remembers details.
Dude,
I don't even remember. I didn't play the last 8.5 minutes.
Because I was cramped, dude, and I was sitting on the sideline with my mom. That's why
Your mom came on the sideline?
Dude, yeah. Mario got carried back to the sideline like 3 times because he cramped so bad.
Did he?
So, you know what I remember from the Cabrillo game?
Tell me.
I got pulled with like 6 minutes to go from defense.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
And I'm just like, I'm losing my shit. It's my last game. I mean, I figured I'd make the All-Star team. I don't want to fucking sound like an asshole, but I was pretty sure I was going to make the All-Star team.
I think we all do.
You also thought you were going to win the Hitman Award.
Yeah, that didn't happen either. That is the running joke at Santa Ynez High. But
2002 running joke, yeah.
So, to get pulled out of your last game as a senior, it's like soul-crushing. It's like you're never going to play on that field again with that group of guys.
Were you home?
We were home.
Oh.
And it was like we were kicking by the fourth, we were beating them by 3 scores. And it's like, oh, God, I want to stay in. My goal,
Oh, you guys won then.
Oh, we won.
Easily.
We won 61-35.
No, you get pulled. It just sucks that, the crowd or your squad don't give you love because they don't notice it. It's just you. It's a quiet jog, bro. You do you're still doing your job. You're running off the field.
And you
don't know.
You're done.
You don't even know. Coach will be like, "Hey," he'll walk up to you, and it's not kind of awkward. Like you're winning the game.
At that point, you don't care.
And you're just like, let me do what I got to do, man. I want to game out, man. I don't I'm glad we're winning. I'm glad we're winning and all, but I love this game so much that I don't want to be taken out.
Yeah, I wanted to. See, my goal I wanted to break. It was my last game. I wanted to break the single game tackle record.
How close were you?
I wasn't even close. They didn't run the ball. They went 5 wide almost the whole game. So it was like
they never ran the ball.
You should have let them catch it, Sean.
I had to. That's the only way I was making tackles.
That's because your drop sucked.
Didn't Jason Roberts have 22 catches?
Dude, Jason Roberts murdered.
Some kind of crazy number.
Yeah, he didn't.
I think they broke some records too.
Yeah, he didn't have a Drew Bernier game. But
What Drew Bernier have?
Drew Bernier went for like 350 on us.
Oh yeah.
Rushing?
No, receiving.
Oh, who's the corner? Both of them?
Both of them.
Equally?
Yeah.
We won't mention names on that one, but
Not one? You can't mention one of them?
No, Dustin Kelly threw for 500 plus yards,
Yeah.
and we lost.
Tell me they went to somewhere. They went to a school.
Dustin Kelly's in the MLB. He's in the
Yeah,
Twins.
He did the Red Sox organization for a while.
And I thought he was on the Twins. He was on the Twins.
Oh, wow. What do you play?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
So was Bernier. Bernier went to the MLB too.
His brother went to the MLB.
Oh, okay.
Drew didn't. Yeah, I don't.
But that's good stock.
He played in Gamecock. Drew wasn't bad though. He just wasn't. His brother was better.
Yeah.
The younger brother was supposed to be really good.
Yeah. 2001.
But yeah, rivalry week. We're getting ready for Carp. Shoot, I got 2 games
Yeah.
this week.
Paolo's got a freshman game tonight.
We're going back to back. We're going Thursday night, Friday night.
We'll get some.
Oh, man.
Stay down there. It's nice down there.
No, Paolo's got like a split squad game against a Santa Maria split squad. You know, just an extra game for a lot of the freshmen and some of the sophomores that need some more reps.
Like, this is a season where no one is going to complain about, hey, I didn't get playing time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not even the point of it. Like, we love it. We love the idea of this. The team loves the idea of this. Like, we understand that we're a JV team, that we're getting better, and that we're going to get awesome reps. And our depth this game is going to make our depth that much better. And it's, you know, if you don't have a freshman team, but you have decent numbers, you should have a game like this once or twice a year, every year.
Yeah, it's just more reps. You know, you can't.
That's the point.
Yeah, you can't fabricate game-like reps in practice.
Nope. No,
So,
you can't.
so this is a great thing.
Yeah.
Well, good.
So-
that sounds like it.
All right, Mario.
All right, gentlemen.
Yeah, for
Mario, he's going to my hometown tomorrow, Morgan Hill, for a work
Yeah,
trip.
I am.
One day.
I got to get up early, so.
All right. Hey, you know, if you ever get stuck there, you could just go to my parents' house.
Yeah.
If you need it, like-
there's no traffic up there. I like going up there. That's the easiest drive in history, dude. It's fast. You know, you could jam up there and jam.
3.5 hours. You know what I mean? Like, you're there.
Yeah.
and it's easy.
But it's far. But there's no traffic. I mean, it's super easy.
Yeah, there's great stops in between.
Yeah, the 101
Central
corner.
Coast to South Bay Area.
Yeah,
101 is
if
an easy one.
If nobody's ever been to King City, you need to go.
Oh, dude, it's fucking great.
Don't go fast though. They have it's the number one
It is
place for the highway patrol and
Well,
tickets.
there's like a bunch of construction going on over there right now, and they'll get you any way they can. So they're turds, but
Hey,
it is.
but Mario, make sure you wear your Epic eyewear when you're driving. You want to wear some good sunglasses. EpicEyewear.com. One more time. Whistle 10. Get 10% off. A great pair of shades. You know, you don't want that glare in your eyes when you're driving. The accidents. You want to be able to see your speedometer. You don't want to go too fast going through King City. You know what I mean? They're polarized, guys. They're $20. They're $30. You get 10% off, and you're giving back to Wounded Warrior. You're supporting a veteran-owned and operated sunglass company. It's the best. Mario, make sure you get some Epic eyewear.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Mar. Drive safe.
gentlemen.
I'll talk to you later.
See you guys.
Bye.
If you're listening to this, that's our inaugural. Oh no, Ian Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
We did have a phone interview, but this is impromptu.
Yeah, we just decided to see what was gonna happen.
We always kind of talk to Mario and mention this, but I think this is the only way we could do it. I don't want him in person. You know what I mean? Dude, and he's a jabberjaw too, bro. I think we hit him on some sweet topics, you know, fantasy football. We talked. Actually, we turned into some baseball, which was great.
Yeah.
You know, and it went here and there. But thanks for talking, Mario.
Yeah, we appreciate the phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we'll go back to Epic Eyewear real quick. We want to send them a big shout out. You know, throwing us a promo code Whistle10, get 10% off. Support a great cause. Veteran owned, female veteran owned.
I love Made in the USA. I love, you know what I
Totally.
mean? I don't want to get, you know, seeing that on something I own gives me pride.
That's
You know what I mean?
That's an important
You-
thing
you
for
look at-
nationalistic pride.
Exactly.
You know, you're about the cause, and you
and
know
it's quality.
it's good stuff. And to be a veteran-owned company, you know, you're seeing a lot more these days, which is a good thing. And
Oh, yeah.
and a female veteran-owned company, which you don't see a lot of, which is even better.
And I love they have our back. You know, we have their back.
And another thing is they have ties to the Valley.
Oh yeah. Right, we talked about that.
You talked about
with
it,
Rekka, yeah.
I mean, I went to school with their Eric Massey, who is the cousin.
So where did he go and play water polo?
I don't remember, but he was a great water polo player, and I know he was a good swimmer. I had him in a few classes.
I
good
bet
dude.
you, even in water polo, Santa Ynez hates carp.
I don't even know if Carp has a water polo team. I don't know if they have a pool. I don't know if they have a pool.
They're so close to the ocean. You know what I mean?
I'm sure they have a surf team.
Boom. Hitting the rights and the lefts, bruh.
The waves are ripping at Rincon, bruh.
Spitting them out, just like we did on this awesome episode of Hold My Whistle.
It's good to be back in the dungeon with you.
Man, I haven't had a bourbon and enjoyed it like this in a while. You are a great barman. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
All right, that's enough of the compliments for you for at least a week.
I gotta stop patting myself on the back.
Hey, I'm Paolo.
I'm Foy.
It's another episode of Hold My Whistle.
Hit the music.
Can you blow my whistle, baby, let me know. Girl, I'm gonna show you how to do it, and we start real slow. You just put your lips together and you come real close. Can you blow my whistle, baby,
Thanks for listening to another episode of Hold My Whistle. This episode was brought to you by EpicEyewear.com, my personal choice for shades on and off the practice field. So check out EpicEyewear.com and use promo code WHISTLE10 on your next purchase. Remember, EpicEyewear.com.